Welcome back to Today we will learn about the explosive romantic entanglements brewing in Salem as Gabi Hernandez orchestrates her most ambitious seduction scheme yet, targeting not just one but both Kiriakis brothers in a web of passion, betrayal, and corporate espionage. Gabi's strategic pivot. From one Kiriakis to another, the cunning and manipulative Gabi Hernandez, portrayed by the talented Sherry Jimenez, finds herself at a crossroads as her calculated pursuit of Xander Kiriakis takes an unexpected turn. What began as a carefully orchestrated plan to extract valuable insider information from Xander about Titan Industries has evolved into something far more complex and potentially dangerous. Sources reveal that Gabi's initial approach toward Xander was methodical and deliberate, designed to exploit any vulnerabilities in his professional and personal armor. However, as fate would have it, Gabi's attention dramatically shifts toward Philip Kiriakis, the prodigal son who has returned to Salem with his own agenda and complicated history. This unexpected pivot represents more than just a change of romantic target. It signals a complete transformation in Gabi's strategic approach to achieving her ultimate goals. The transition from pursuing Xander to focusing on Philip demonstrates Gabi's adaptability and her willingness to adjust her tactics when presented with new opportunities. The art of seduction. Gabi's calculated flirtation campaign. Gabi's transformation into a master manipulator becomes increasingly evident as she deploys her considerable charm and feminine wiles in pursuit of Philip Kiriakis. Her flirtatious behavior is not merely spontaneous attraction, but rather a carefully choreographed performance designed to achieve maximum impact. The sophisticated Salem businesswoman understands that Philip, having recently returned to town with his own complicated relationship history, may be particularly susceptible to her advances. The intensity of Gabi's flirtation campaign escalates beyond simple conversation and casual encounters. She employs psychological manipulation tactics that have been honed through years of navigating Salem's treacherous social and business landscapes. Her approach combines elements of vulnerability, confidence, and just enough mystery to keep Philip intrigued and emotionally invested in their developing connection. This calculated seduction represents Gabi at her most dangerous, using her intelligence and allure as weapons in her ongoing battle for corporate control and personal satisfaction. Corporate espionage meets personal desire. The underlying motivation driving Gabi's romantic pursuits extends far beyond simple physical attraction or emotional connection. Her partnership with the formidable DiMera has created a complex web of corporate intrigue that requires insider access to Titan Industries' most sensitive information. The merger between DiMera Enterprises and Titan has created vulnerabilities that Gabi intends to exploit, and Philip's position within the Kiriakis empire makes him an invaluable target for her intelligence-gathering operations. As Gabi delves deeper into her relationship with Philip, she discovers that obtaining Titan dirt requires more than casual pillow talk and strategic questioning. The information she seeks, financial records, strategic plans, board meeting discussions, and confidential client relationships, demands a level of trust and intimacy that can only be achieved through genuine emotional manipulation. Her success in this endeavor will determine not only her ability to reclaim Gabi Chic from Titan's control, but also her standing in Salem's competitive business environment. The inevitable collision. Passion meets consequences. The culmination of Gabi's seductive campaign reaches its zenith when she successfully lures Philip into a compromising situation that results in their passionate encounter. This intimate moment represents more than just physical attraction. It symbolizes the complete success of Gabi's manipulative strategy and the beginning of even more complicated relationships within the Kiriakis family dynamic. The aftermath of their night together creates ripple effects that extend far beyond the bedroom, impacting business relationships, family loyalties, and personal reputations throughout Salem. Philip's awakening beside Gabi marks a turning point in both their lives, as the reality of their actions begins to sink in. For Philip, this encounter represents a significant departure from his previous romantic entanglements and raises questions about his judgment and priorities. The experienced businessman suddenly finds himself in the position of having been outmaneuvered by someone whose motivations remain partially hidden, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and potential regret that will undoubtedly influence his future decisions. Xander's fury. The explosive reaction, the revelation of Philip and Gabi's intimate encounter, ignites a firestorm of rage within Xander Kiriakis, whose own complicated feelings about Gabi's manipulation become impossible to ignore. Xander's fury stems not only from jealousy but also from the recognition that he has been played as part of a larger scheme designed to damage Titan Industries and the Kiriakis family's business interests. His anger manifests in ways that threaten to destabilize both his professional responsibilities and his personal relationships throughout Salem. The volatile reaction from Xander creates additional complications for Gabi's ongoing strategy, as his public displays of anger draw unwanted attention to her activities and potentially expose the true nature of her motivations. The confrontation between the Kiriakis brothers over Gabi's affections becomes a spectacle that entertains Salem's gossip mill, while simultaneously threatening to unravel the carefully constructed plans that Gabi and Tony DiMera have spent months developing. This explosive situation forces all parties involved to confront the consequences of their actions and make difficult decisions about their future relationships. The web of deception. Analyzing Gabi's master plan, the sophistication of Gabi's trap becomes apparent as the various elements of her strategy converge to create maximum chaos within the Kiriakis organization. Her ability to simultaneously manipulate both brothers while maintaining plausible deniability demonstrates a level of strategic thinking that rivals the most accomplished corporate espionage operatives. The psychological warfare she employs combines elements of seduction, misdirection, and emotional manipulation to achieve outcomes that benefit her larger objectives while creating permanent damage to her target's relationships and reputations. The question of whether both Kiriakis brothers will ultimately fall victim to Gabi's elaborate scheme remains a source of intense speculation among Salem residents and Days of Our Lives viewers alike. The complexity of her plan suggests that even she may not be able to predict or control all the variables involved, creating potential for unexpected consequences that could ultimately work against her interests. The intricate web she has woven may prove to be as dangerous to herself as it is to her intended victims. Looking ahead, consequences and revelations. The next 2 weeks promise to deliver shocking developments and emotional confrontations as the full scope of Gabi's manipulation comes to light and the various players in this drama are forced to deal with the aftermath of their choices. The revelation of her true motivations will likely create additional enemies and complicate her relationships with other Salem residents who discover they have been used as pawns in her larger game. The potential for exposure of her corporate espionage activities raises the stakes considerably, as legal and financial consequences could threaten not only her business interests but also her freedom. As Gabi continues to focus on identifying and pursuing her next seduction target, the pattern of her behavior suggests that Philip and Xander may be only the beginning of a much larger campaign designed to reshape Salem's power structure according to her vision. The success of her current operations will likely embolden her to take even greater risks and target even more prominent figures in Salem's business and social communities, setting the stage for future conflicts and romantic entanglements that will keep viewers engaged and entertained for months to come. The explosive combination of romance, betrayal, corporate intrigue, and family drama ensures that this storyline will continue to generate compelling television as all parties involved struggle to navigate the complex web of relationships and competing interests that Gabi has so masterfully created. Next, exciting twists ahead in Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for the week starting August 11th, 2025. As the drama unfolds in Salem, viewers of the beloved Peacock series are in for a whirlwind of emotional confrontations and surprising alliances. Central to the action is DiMera's much-needed session with renowned psychiatrist Marlena Evans, where buried tensions finally surface. Meanwhile, young Rachel Black unleashes her frustrations in a dramatic outburst directed at her mother, DiMera, highlighting the ongoing family strains. Adding to the intrigue, Sophia Choi opens her heart to close friend Ari Horton, played by the talented Marissa Reyes, sharing secrets that could shift loyalties. Dive deeper into these developments and join the conversation about what's brewing in this captivating soap opera. DiMera's path to self-reflection in the aftermath of an explosive courtroom spectacle that left everyone reeling. DiMera finds himself at odds with his sister Belle Black, portrayed by Martha Madison, and his son Johnny DiMera. What intended as a bold strategy to exonerate Johnny backfired spectacularly, exposing sensitive family secrets and forcing Belle into an uncomfortable spotlight. This misstep not only deepened the rift but also prolonged the legal ordeal, requiring Johnny to endure another grueling round of proceedings that test his resilience and relationships. Seeking solace and perhaps redemption, EJ turns to Marlena Evans for professional guidance in a therapy session that promises to unearth long-suppressed emotions. Drawing from her vast experience with Salem's most troubled souls, Marlena navigates EJ's complex psyche, exploring themes of ambition and regret. However, the plot thickens almost immediately when, the following day, Marlena is hit with an unexpected subpoena from none other than her new client, EJ himself. A move that blurs the lines between therapy and tactics, raising questions about his true intentions. As the week progresses, EJ seeks out an unlikely confidant in Gwen Rizek von Leuschner, brought to life by Emily O'Brien, whose own history of schemes makes her a fitting sounding board for his dilemmas. Their conversation delves into EJ's vulnerabilities, including his fears of losing control in the DiMera empire, and hints at potential collaborations that could reshape alliances in Salem. Concurrently, Belle and Johnny find common ground amid the chaos, sharing heartfelt moments that strengthen their bond. They reminisce about past trials and discuss strategies for moving forward, perhaps even plotting a subtle counter to EJ's dominance. Come Friday, the narrative shifts as Paulina Price, embodied by the charismatic Jackie Harry, bares her soul to Belle in a vulnerable exchange. Paulina's revelations touch on her own battles with power and family loyalty, offering Belle a fresh perspective on forgiveness and resilience. In a lighter yet intriguing subplot, Leo Stark acquaints himself with his fresh jury roommate, leading to humorous banter and unexpected insights that could influence the ongoing legal saga, all while Leo's witty observations add a touch of levity to the intense atmosphere. Chanel Dupree DiMera's heroic gesture amid the escalating family conflicts, Chanel Dupree DiMera, played by Raven Bowens, steps up with a selfless offer to shoulder the blame for Johnny's predicament, showcasing her unwavering devotion and willingness to protect those she cares about. This act of bravery stems from her deep-rooted sense of justice, influenced by her entrepreneurial spirit and past experiences navigating Salem's intricate web of deceit. As Chanel contemplates the risks, including potential fallout in her bakery business and personal life, her decision underscores the themes of sacrifice that permeate the show's enduring storylines. In a parallel thread, Marlena imparts her insightful hypothesis to Belle, drawing connections between current events and historical patterns in the Black and DiMera families. This theory, enriched by Marlena's psychological expertise, suggests underlying motives that could unravel long-standing mysteries, prompting Belle to reassess her approach to the trial and her relationships. Later, Johnny confronts his father directly, pleading for leniency toward Chanel in a tense father-son exchange that highlights generational clashes within the DiMera clan. Johnny's appeal is laced with memories of their shared history, from business ventures to personal milestones, urging EJ to prioritize family harmony over vengeance. Yet, EJ's protective instincts often veer into darker territory, transforming him into a formidable adversary when safeguarding his inner circle. His history of ruthless decisions, like corporate takeovers and romantic manipulations, illustrates a pattern where innocence becomes collateral damage. In this case, Chanel's purity might be the price for Johnny's freedom, forcing viewers to ponder the cost of loyalty in Salem's unforgiving landscape.